course, Donald. No, I'm not saying you sucked Vladimir Putin's tiny, shriveled penis that is shaped just like his head. I'm certain of this. But you might have.
Навел дорожку, получается 450.
Welcome back to the Socialist Star YouTube channel. Don't ask me what my hair is doing, because to be honest, I don't know. I washed it, palm roll it, really, but things went south. Anyways, did you know that there is a DEI hire in the Trump administration? I mean, all of them are DEI hires. Let's be honest, they're dumb as doorknobs.
You are a disgrace to this university, to this country, and humanity in general.
So they're all DEI hires, but one is specifically the epitome of a DEI hire, and that one would be Pete Hegseth. Now, to the unassuming eye, this is water. If anyone asks, I'm gonna say it's water. It's water. It's water. And you'll see why that matters in this episode. So, Pete Hegseth has once again shared military plans from the strikes against the Houthis, not just in one Signal chat, but in another. And that's why he's our DEI hire. Because not only is he absolutely just stupid, but also Pete Hegseth likes to drink. A lot.
We begin tonight with breaking news just coming in. Sources say Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is said to have shared sensitive details about the strike in Yemen targeting Houthis in a second Signal group chat on March 15th that included his wife and brother, among others. This comes just weeks after Hegseth and officials mistakenly added an editor from The Atlantic to a group chat. Let's bring in ABC's Alex Perche. Alex, what's the latest that you're learning tonight?
Lindsay, tonight, two sources confirmed to ABC News that report by the New York Times that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth shared military operation details to a group chat of family and friends titled Defense Team Huddle. In this private Signal chat that included his wife, brother, and personal lawyer, the defense secretary shared specifics, including flight schedules of a strike in Yemen targeting Houthis back in March. The secretary's brother, Phil, and his lawyer, Tim Parlator, both have jobs at the Pentagon. Hegseth's wife is not a Defense Department employee, and none of them have any apparent reason to be briefed on military operations. This information reportedly shared is essentially the same attack plans he posted in a separate Signal chat that included the editor of The Atlantic. But unlike that chat, this one was created by Secretary Hegseth, and he reportedly used his private phone rather than his government one to access that chat. Now, Lindsay, tonight, ABC News has reached out to the National Security Council, also the White House. We have not heard back yet for comment, but this is certainly to raise questions about security protocol. Lindsay?
That is definitely the case. Alex, thank you.
I'm pretty sure that this man had no idea that he could delete that second chat and hasn't deleted that second chat because he's drunk all the time. But what makes it even worse is that second chat, of course, as the previous news clip showed, has his wife and his brother in it. Now, his brother is, working at the Pentagon, whatever. I mean, that part. But his wife, which has made regular appearances in several different instances of where she should not be at all because she does not have the security clearance. Oh, but it's his wife. You're too serious. It doesn't matter if it was literally Jesus Christ.
Shut the hell up, bitch.
If he does not have the security clearance, he should not be in there. Now, me personally, I find this all hilarious because that just means that the U.S. military is utterly screwed if we ever go to war, because this guy is going to have the battle plans of any conflict leaked out just by having someone's number in his phone. Which, by the way, he's using his personal phone. Which, I mean, what the fuck, my guy?
I want to get your thoughts just as you're hearing all of this information, this idea that there was a second Signal chat where he was sharing this information about these strikes with people like his wife, his brother, his personal attorney, who don't have security clearances. What are you thinking as someone who stood at that podium at the Pentagon and knows how this information is typically handled?
I mean, it's truly shocking. I think when I saw this reporting coming out from the New York Times at first, there was no question there were going to be more Signal threads. Who started them? This one in particular was started by Pete Hegseth. And for him to add, his wife, his brother, his personal attorney, people that don't need access or need to know about classified information about operations involving the Houthis in any way. I mean, this is something that we would never do under a previous administration. And on top of that, putting these classified details into a commercial texting app like Signal, again, that puts our fighter pilots at risk. That was something that, certainly concerned me deeply when these texts were first exposed just a month ago. It's that same concern. It's putting the operation, those fighter pilots who are in the air about to conduct this operation at risk with people that don't need to know this information.
Yeah, and that's another thing that is just comically hilarious about this is they keep saying that it's not classified information. Okay, let me explain to you how military plans work. Good military plans. They remain classified until the last fucking possible second.
Correct!
People who should not know do not know.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
What?
This is why countless times in the movies you see the military operation and the soldiers, say, why are we trekking down this bog, da-da-da-da-da. And the soldiers, like the commanding officer will say, I don't need to know, I was just giving orders. Go secure this point on the hill, we'll figure it out from there. Like, that's the whole reason, that's the thing. Why? Because literally, if you reveal this information before the operation takes place, you have no idea what your enemy is capable of doing. Now, the Houthis, of course, probably not capable of bringing down an F-15 or an F-22 Raptor or whatever, but that doesn't matter. You're not supposed to reveal this stuff because you could put your pilots in a dangerous situation. It is classified until the operation takes place. Then it is no longer classified. This is just a gift of the fucking gab. This is a goof, and I tell you what, no one's got a sweet tooth. I don't know what that joke was, but you know what? You should like, subscribe, and share. Because let's get this channel to 1,000. And as for my current 70 subscribers, one day, in an alternate reality, I will be giving you that sloppy toppy, and you're gonna love it.
What kind of deranged Wile E. Coyote shit is that?
I'm sorry, that was a stretch. That was taking it too far, but you people have made my heart so ready to swallow yours.
Stop it. Get some help.
This is utterly dumb because it's like, dude, why is your wife in the chat? Not to mention that, why are you using your personal cell phone? Not to mention that, you're literally using a third-party app. And not only just any third-party app, it's Signal Chat. Or who the has heard of Signal Chat? I guarantee these motherfuckers' security is not good enough to withstand, I don't know, a Russian hack, an Iranian hack, or some shit, and they just forever know our military plans because Pete Hegseth is too drunk to grab his fucking government phone.
I want to go off what Sabrina's saying there from the military perspective. Again, just the potential for danger for our men and women in uniform. What kind of potential for danger is there if this information were to get leaked or get into the wrong hands? Again, this is an encrypted app, but it is not a secure line. And in fact, his advisors had warned him that it wasn't a secure place to be.
Well, first off, lady, let me answer for the colonel here before he responds. Number one, Pete Hegseth does not think women should be in the military. He has said this several times, but for some reason he put his wife in a group chat that is discussing military operations. So which is it, Pete? Should women be in the military or should women not? Because if your wife is learning military protocol and operations at the highest freaking level without any security clearance, then I guess, maybe women should be in the military. you fucking idiot. Put down the Jack Daniels. But I don't think that's your drink of choice. I think your drink of choice is likely vodka. And I'll get into that in a second.
Yeah, that's right, Jessica. And Sabrina's exactly right. First of all, we look at the fighter pilots and all of the effort that goes into planning air operations of this type. People don't realize, if you're not involved in air operations, a lot of people don't understand that these are very complex operations, and there's a lot that can go wrong as you plan them. And one of the key things is when you actually plan these operations and you have specific things like time over target, the type of ordnance that's going to be dropped, the type of targets that you're going after, the exact target that you're going after, all of those kinds of things are absolutely essential elements of information. And those essential elements of information are exactly what makes these kinds of texts classified. And no matter what they will spin at this Pentagon, this stuff is classified, no doubt about it. And Jessica, this is the kind of thing that gets people in trouble. When the first signal chat scandal broke, we talked about the old World War II adage, loose lips sink ships. This is exactly the kind of thing that happens because signal chats can be intercepted by sophisticated adversaries like the Russians, like the Chinese. It's difficult for them to do so, but they've proven that they can do it in Ukraine. And it's the kind of thing that we have to guard against. And, these types of signal chats, even if they happen in the United States, in the DC area, you can bet that the Russians and the Chinese are working very hard to intercept them.
Like, this dude is just an utter collection of incompetence. Why are you using a chat that was made before your confirmation?
Why? 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 Why?
Why are you using your personal device? Why are you using Signal Chat? Like the Colonel just said, has already been hacked several times by different states. States have the means to do it. North Korea hacks like fucking millions of dollars a year into their country from like several different freaking places to get around sanctions and shit. Okay, they do this with the people supposedly fucking starving or whatever people want to declare. They don't have unlimited massive resources. Their counterparts in the South and North Korea can hack banking organizations. They can hack Microsoft. They can hack Apple. The whole 9 yards.
You're breaking my balls.
So what makes you think that like this Signal Chat is not going to get hacked by Iran, Russia, or just any of our adversaries? Whether you agree with them being adversaries to us or not, which, me being the socialist, I believe in anti-imperialism, and our imperialism has most definitely gotten us every enemy that we've ever gotten under the sun, except for the Nazis.
They're the foot soldiers of a Jew-hating, mass-murdering maniac, and they need to be destroyed.
Every other enemy was basically forced, but the Nazis, no, that was a good one. Similar to the first Signal Chat, which was revealed publicly by The Atlantic after its editor was mistakenly included by National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, the military plans Hegseth shared and the second chat were about strikes against the Houthis, the people said. Hegseth's brother Phil, as well as his lawyer Tim Parlatore, both have jobs at the Department of Defense. Which, why does his lawyer have a job at the Department of Defense? Like, that is the most dumb fucking hire I've ever seen in my life. You're going to prevent your lawyer from actually being able to defend you because your lawyer might be involved in something that you are criminally charged with. It would be a conflict of interest because he also would be a defendant, and he therefore cannot defend him fucking self. Holy shit. But his wife, Jennifer, does not, despite Hegseth regularly including her during the beginning of his tenure in meetings with foreign leaders. It is not clear whether everyone in the second Signal Chat had a security clearance. If we can't even determine that, then this dude just needs to be fired, okay? And I keep referencing his drinking issue, and there's a reason.
Tonight, President-elect Trump's pick for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth facing growing skepticism of his chances for confirmation amid damaging news reports.
Do you need to address the questions about your character that have been raised in some of these reports?
And now, 10 current and former Fox News employees who worked with Hegseth, who hosted one of the network's morning shows, telling NBC News that he drank in ways that concern them. 2 saying that on more than a dozen occasions they smelled alcohol on him before he went on air. Quote, everyone would be talking about it behind the scenes, one of the former Fox News employees said. He should not be Secretary of Defense, another former Fox News employee said. His drinking should be disqualifying. A Trump transition spokesperson calling the allegations disgusting, completely unfounded, and false. An attorney for Hegseth referring us to the transition statement. Fox News did not respond.
Mr. Hegseth, so many of these stories about you have involved alcohol. Do you have a drinking problem, sir?
Now NBC News has learned as many as...
You know, it's crazy. He probably heard him, and just the mere fact that he was probably drunk while walking along there made his brain process that question a million times slower. And I know this is a sensitive topic because dude is an alcoholic, but I was also an alcoholic, and there were time periods when I was just straight sauce throughout the day, and it was like people would say stuff to me, and I would not catch it until like 2 minutes later. Like, his brain is literally just unable to keep up.
6 GOP senators are not comfortable supporting Hegseth's nomination, according to multiple Republicans.
And yet they did. But this is obviously an older story from that time period before he was confirmed. But, dude, if people at Fox News are saying that you have a drinking problem, you have a drinking problem. It's Fox News, bro. Like, they commit all levels of crimes over there. And will stand by their like anchors all throughout those crimes until like they get sued, and even then they need to lose pretty much every shred of advertising in order to drop somebody. They had Tucker Carlson for years and years after dude was literally blatantly saying racist shit with no hesitation. You just had a drinking problem. And they were worried. The Wall Street Journal reported Friday that Hegseth brought his wife, Jennifer Hegseth, to 2 meetings with foreign military officials, citing multiple people present or with knowledge of the meetings. One meeting was reportedly held with the UK's Secretary of Defense, John Ely, in the Pentagon. Why did I call it the Pentagon? I think it was because I was coming out of the accent. Either way, I'm calling it that from now on. In the Pentagon on March 6th, and discussions included the United States' decision to withdraw from sharing military intelligence with Ukraine amid their war with Russia. Because, you know, for some reason, we're not Russia's bitches, but we sure will help them win a war. Of course, Donald. No, I'm not saying you sucked Vladimir Putin's fucking tiny, shriveled penis that is shaped just like his head. I'm certain of this. But you might have. Defense officials told the Wall Street Journal that attendance lists for secretary meetings usually involve people with security clearances due to the delicate nature of the discussion. The second meeting was reportedly at the North Atlantic Treaty Organization's headquarters in Brussels, Belgium, in February. The meeting was a gathering of officials from other nations to discuss support for Ukraine, the Wall Street Journal says. Citing people familiar with the meeting, some foreign attendees at the meeting didn't know who Jennifer Hegseth was, which is valid. You know, it's not often you have to encounter a Karen when you're overseas. Like, it's just not often. That's a very American homegrown thing. America, yeah! Amid the immediate fallout from the Signal chat leak, Hegseth has faced calls for resignation. Trump administration officials continue to come to his side in the wake. So he's having his wife in these meetings, and I've been alluding to his alcohol problem. And I'm going to show you why it's a big problem. It's water. It's water. Just like Pete Hegseth at the podium, that was water. Holy Christ. I know it was vodka that he was drinking simply because, like, every time he took a sip, it was always a short sip. Give his tongue a second to kind of prepare before he swallowed or something. And then he would swallow quickly, and like his face would go like you're an alcoholic, dude, and like you genuinely need help. You don't need to be Secretary of Defense. You need to like resign and go speak to someone. You need to go join a AA group. You just need help. You should not be Secretary of Defense. You have so many problems. The drinking is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And then you bring your wife around, and then you've got these signal chat controversies. Me personally, I find this all hilarious because it's just the continued chaos of the Trump administration, which has literally left everyone completely baffled and fooled. But holy Christ, get some help, my guy, before you get somebody killed, quite literally, because, you know, the Russians could just be sitting on your phone listening to all your freaking plans. China literally could know everything that you have said thanks to signal chat. Is he going to resign? Not fucking likely. I mean, he's probably going to have to more or less be forced out by a Senate or some shit. But I'll tell you one thing, he was most definitely not drinking Tito's, because Tito's, for some reason, just puts my ass out.